man? What's up, man? We live. Verbal Peak Radio, man. We back at you where we everyday people, man, and we give you a verbal image of life. I got my partner, man, always, man, down, man, to put in work, man, and I respect this brother's mind. Brother Low Key in the building. What's up, Low Key?
What's going on, Black?
Look, now, for one, man, as we rumble through our minds, man, to get a movie that we can relate to, that we can share with you all, that everybody's seen, man, which is so similar to a common denominator, we came up with The Devil's Advocate, right? Man, and I'm going to tell you how The Devil's Advocate, man, and I'm going to give a brief synopsis of what I personally went through, man, and then we going to get into it, man, to relate, because this brother also, man, he good, he can break down the dreams, right? And we going to get into that on this show, right? Now, check this out, right? Back in the day, right, when I was hustling, man, out in these streets, right, I know the Devil's Advocate is real because I had got to a point to where what really happened was I said, you know, whoever can assist me in making money in this game, that's who I'm rolling with, right? And I shot that out to the universe, right? And, man, the next week, things just popping, man. I'm rolling, right? So I go to sleep, I have a dream, right? Man, it was more like a vision. But I'm in the devil's office, right? And I'm going through these file cabinets to see if my name was in there. And as I was looking, I could feel the devil sensing me in that room. So he trying to run to catch me in the room. And I'm trying to yell, man, so my wife could wake me up. My wife, she my wife now, but at the time we was dating. And I'm yelling, man, I'm sweating, but I'm trying to scream loud so she can pull me out that reality, pull me on the other side for the devil come in the room, right? Next day I see Devil's Advocate, and I'm telling you, the people who wrote that movie, they really was in tune to that. I don't know if you want to call it dark magic, but and I don't want to say the occult, but I'm saying that essence of that demon or Satan or whatever, they written that movie to where when you get in that spiritual realm, you can see demons coming up out of people in a sense, bruh. But on that dream aspect, what do you take of that?
Okay, now, in the place where you say you was looking for your name in the file cabinets, whose place was that?
I was in the devil's office.
Okay, you was in the devil's office.
I'm in his.
He was coming in there.
He coming in. I had snuck in there to see if he had my name in his file.
Okay. And what was the feeling? Even though you have expressed it to a certain degree, I just want to see if you can.
The feeling was I was kind of anxious. I was nervous. I want to run and see because I wanted to clear my name. Okay. I wanted to see, man, if I did so much dirt in his lifetime where he got a foul on me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And in some kind of way, I snuck in the room.
Right.
I'm going through his stuff. You know what I mean? I want to see for myself, right?
Right.
But I sensed that he sensed I was in there, and I could tell he was coming.
Right.
And I'm trying to get up out of there before he get in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And before he came, man, I'm yelling. My wife, she shook me like, get up. You know what I mean? I came up out. I was like, ooh, thank you, man. I appreciate you, because she could have just said, well, he gonna sleep it out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But she pushed me like, man, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? I'm sweating and you know and whatnot, bruh.
Right. Okay. Well, first things first. The devil, you know, and all that is ain't no physical nothing. All that it's all science. Okay. You know, these particular books where we pull this particular terminology from, these are science books. So when you talk about, let's say, the devil or Satan, or you're talking about the root chakra. Okay. In Sanskrit, which is in India, in Hinduism, they call it the Muladhara.
Okay.
You know, and that is at the base of your spine. It is one of your 7 major pressure points, and it's identified through the red color frequency. Okay. It is the starting point. It's also identified with the child. And in the Bible, it says to come childlike in order to enter into the gates of heaven. What it's saying is to be right brain and to be, you know, because a child is only trained, you know, through the years by guardians or overseers into a mindset to adapt to what humanity or what that particular guardian perceives humanity to be in order to deal.
Right.
You know,
right.
So a child, when a baby is first born and you put a pistol in a baby's face, it ain't gonna react.
Okay.
It has to be trained that this is something to fear. It gets trained into fear, and fear is the slowest vibration. It's the lowest frequency.
Okay.
It tightens up your DNA, and light can't penetrate. So whenever you're talking to people about things that are abstract, these abstract concepts, the reason why it's not penetrating is because they're in fear of what you're saying. Fear, they have a lack of knowledge on what you're speaking of. They're ignorant to what you're speaking of. So that fear and that DNA tightens up, and the message is not penetrating. It's not getting to them.
Okay.
So the devil, that particular concept is talking about the first when because the devil doesn't have any fear.
Right.
The devil, reigns supreme, based on the mythology when it comes to the earth realm, because the devil is not hindered by, an overseer dictating to him how he should, move. Now, if you take it to the let's say the Catholicism or Christianity, same thing. You take it to that particular aspect, then the opposite of, let's say, the devil would be God or Yahweh Yah. So that's just talking about basically the crown chakra, which is a major pressure point on the crown at the top of the dome.
Okay.
And
is that the black dot or no?
Is the black dot the third?
I'm talking about when you say right here, the back of the dome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say the soft spot whenever a baby's born at the top of the head.
Okay, right, right.
Now, when it comes to that, it's just talking about the opposite polarity, because the opposite, just like in the Bible, they have Isaiah 14:12, and in the book of Revelations, they have Jesus and the devil both identified, or actually Lucifer to be specific, as the bright and morning star.
Okay. So
the principle of polarity states that opposites polarity are of the same essence, they just vary in degrees. So basically, we're just talking about concentrated energy traveling from the base of the spine to the crown. Okay. So I know this is an abstract concept, but we're talking science when we get into these particular things. So when we talk about decoding dreams is all symbolism.
Okay.
And the way that one feels is very important, very key. And when a person learns symbolism, then they can start looking at symbolically what these things mean. It's not always about the particular people that's involved. And also when certain concepts show up, that is your energy, letting you know, okay, this is something you need to be looking into, you need to be studying, and getting into the knowledge and get a more holistic understanding of, not from a religious perspective, but from a scientific perspective of what this particular form of energy is.
Okay, so basically what you said, and mind you, this dream happened about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was another that was in another lifetime.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But so basically, are you saying that dream was symbolic of myself knowing right from wrong, and will I go into war with myself?
Well, there's no such thing as right or wrong. There's only perspective. What's one person's right is another person wrong. If somebody, you see somebody kick somebody in the ass, you'll say that that's wrong. But if you find out that person just decapitated they partner, then you would say that was an act of divine justice.
Right.
Right. So yeah, there ain't no such. It's only perspective.
Perspective. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. Okay. That's what that. So basically, we want to get into in that realm, because since you were a child, especially in the Bible, and they had you spooked out on Revelations, and they created this devil with the horns and the red tail and the pitchfork, and was that a method to put fear? Because in the teaching, Elijah Muhammad said they put fear in us as babies. And was that the reason to put fear in us so they can control us better?
You talking about the way that they teach it?
Right, the way that they teach it. Meaning that the way that they control the people to stay on top is through a system of fear.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you can get them to fear, let's say when you talk about the tree of knowledge.
Right.
It's funny because somebody was just talking about Eve today, and they was blaming, and this is no slight to the person who I was talking to, because we went in on the signs. This particular person has some knowledge, is into it. So this is an advanced person from my perspective, and so. As far as, that particular tree of knowledge, well, if you get into Judaism, what the rabbis is teaching and what they dealing with, you get into the science of the tree of life, then you'll find out that particular fruit from the tree of knowledge is talking about pure science. That particular, they identified on the tree of life as the Daf, as the Sephiroth Daf. Okay. And that is a gateway to the backside of the tree of life, which is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the serpent also said, if you partake of this particular fruit, ye shall be as gods. So that particular serpent represents Kundalini energy. It's a symbol that our ancestors always dealt with. And, these particular Europeans that have this, for the purpose of business, they made it their business for us to get out of learning these concepts, to be in fear of these concepts, so we can't utilize it while they utilize it every single day. Matter of fact, you look at the medical symbol, it's a staff with a serpent going around it, because that particular staff represents your spine, and that serpent represents the Kundalini energy traveling from the base to the crown. They know what's up.
They know the
people
sign.
Don't know what's up.
Right. That's right.
Check out the medical symbol.
That's right. And does that go back into the Egypt Imhotep?
Definitely. That when you look at the pharaoh head and you see that serpent in the crown, they're talking about activation in higher consciousness.
So we the snake people.
We're the snake people. That's what St. Patrick's Day was about. When they said the driving out of the snakes, they were talking about the driving out of the snake people, which was the Druids, which is us. They lied about it in the movie Wishmaster 2, where the Europeans was acting like they was the Druids with magical powers. But no, that was us. That was our ancient people that was driven out by these particular what can we call these hybrid people, these cave people, these cannibalistic people who were just wild and completely out of control.
Right, and they ran the snake people out of Ireland, which, like you say, the Druids, which goes all the way back to Egypt. Now, before we end this program, the Egyptian mystery system.
Right.
What's the concept of that? That was a body of knowledge, a science, or a mathematical a formula?
Science, mathematics. They had Kabbalah and Kemet. They had Sufism, which is what Islam comes out of. They had Gnosticism, which is what Catholicism, aka Christianity, same thing, come out of. You had all of these different families of people that was going to Kemet, adding on and learning, and they went through that particular system just like we go through schools today, but we got the watered down garbage, today, but we used to go through the mystery system in order to raise our consciousness in Egypt or Kemet. Same thing.
Right. And so, and I know that even this school system that we have over here in America is based off of the elements or elementary, and they go into, matter of fact, a lot of their sciences is based off of what the ancients created. Mm-hmm. Even though we don't get any credit for it, mm-hmm. or they don't give us any knowledge of, or let the world know that this is where we got it from. And
right.
Because funny you say that, because even I was watching a documentary on Hitler, mm-hmm. and how Hitler went all over the world trying to find the origin of the white race. And everywhere he went, even in Europe, it was signs that we were already there. Right. From Germany to France, Spain, and all the way from when Queen Isabella, she ran the Moors. And I want to get into that at a later broadcast, but how they ran the Moors out of Spain and they went and set up Lagos, Nigeria. That whole, and did some of the Moors come to the Americas with Columbus? Was on the ship with Columbus.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Okay. Well, definitely. So we want to get into that, but definitely what
Well,
we.
That's what I heard.
You're right.
That's what I heard. Yeah.